It's true. I've been called out by Blaire White. Most people are probably, and unfortunately, familiar with Blaire White. Blaire White is the conservative transgender YouTuber who has had a lot of controversies throughout her time on YouTube. And having controversy isn't exactly that big of a deal. I have a fuck ton of controversies as well. It's more so that Blaire has a lot of controversies involving dishonesty. And I don't know if it's because she's intentionally dishonest, but I do know it's certainly because she is fucking stupid. Blaire is just an incredibly dumb person, full of self-hate, and lacks many brain cells necessary to do even, just a bit of research before talking about the subjects that she covers. Let it be known that me and Blaire have hung out before in real life, and she goes on to tell some kind of weird story about when we were, hanging out a while back. Most of it is just completely inaccurate, and actually it makes me look way better. So why don't we go ahead and jump into this and find out what she's gonna say, okay? What does she have to say about your good old boy, Hunter Avabalani? Now, we'll probably end up going through this entire video, but I want to start with her addressing my criticisms specifically. Now, Blaire dropped this video yesterday where she is talking about the, quote, controversial Joe Rogan clip. Basically a clip in which Blaire admitted that she knew she was transgender around the age of 5 years old. However, Blaire White also constantly whines about kids being transgender. So it seems hypocritical.
If you can remember, when did you feel like something was off? That you were supposed to be a girl?
Like 5.
At 5?
Yeah, I remember being in preschool. Like my earliest memories in life were feeling like the only way I can describe it was like a very intense misalignment between the way I was perceived and the way my self-concept. I would say 5, but obviously I didn't have the words to articulate it at 5.
Was that when you first started going? Did you go to preschool?
Mm-hmm.
So was that when you were around other kids? Is that when you started feeling it?
Yeah. First of all, I mean, preschool is kind of like the earliest time people even have memories, but also like that's when you start being socially separated by gender. It's like, I have a very vivid memory of like the boys' cubby area where you put your backpack and your schoolwork, and the girls, and it was like the girls was pink, the boys was blue, and that's superficial, but you start to see the division really early. And I just had this inherent sense that I would never be able to fit into like a maleness ever.
So this is the clip that she is talking about. She's going to try to address this. I also have called her out before on this, and that's where I come into the story. So let's begin.
Hunter Avalon also posted,
"That's me, yeah,"
as a gotcha, that I was being hypocritical by this, that how could I possibly...
So before we go into this, because she's about to tell a bunch of lies and misrepresent everything, her original tweet was, "A transgender 4-year-old is like a vegan cat. We all know who's making the lifestyle choices." And yeah, I responded, Blaire White admitted to Joe Rogan she knew she was trans at age 5. That's what I said, which maybe it's a gotcha, but it's only a gotcha because Blaire White's being hypocritical. I didn't have to twist anything in order to get a gotcha here. It was just a gotcha because fucking Blaire White is inconsistent and hypocritical. So let's see how Blaire White responds to this.
Telling you and the mob behind that I was being hypocritical by this, that how could I possibly, have felt gender dysphoria at 5 and still think that children can't consent to transition, as if those are contradictory thoughts. But what's so funny, true story...
Wait, hold on. Before we get into the true story that's not actually true, I feel like nobody actually caught what she just said there. That was so incredibly incorrect. Shall we go back again?
Have felt gender dysphoria at 5 and still think that children can't consent to transition, as if those are contradictory thoughts. But what's so funny...
So, hold on. How could I have felt gender dysphoria at the age of 5, but still think it's wrong or that kids cannot consent to gender transition? Hold on. A transgender 4-year-old is like a vegan cat. That is what your tweet said. Transgender? Uh-oh. Conservative trips and stumbles over not understanding words again. Transgender is fucking defined as somebody whose gender identity differs from their biology. Transgender does not include getting sex reassignment surgery. Some trans people get sex reassignment surgery, but when your tweet, Blaire, says a transgender 4-year-old is like a vegan cat, we all know who's making the lifestyle choices. Transgender just means that your identity differs. So you were a transgender 5-year-old because you had gender dysphoria at the age of 5. You recognized that your gender identity differed from your biology. You were transgender. Transgender does not mean gender transition or surgery. This is like me saying, hey guys, listen, okay? 5-year-olds can't have depression. How do you think that 5-year-olds can't have depression? And I say, yes, okay, I had depression when I was at the age of 5, but I just don't think that 5-year-olds can consent to go on antidepressants. Medication, going on antidepressants, is not the same thing as having depression to begin with. Yes, You can think that 4-year-olds are not old enough to consent to gender transition. No fucking shit. You're so brave. Can we get a round of applause over here? Guys, Blaire White doesn't think that 4-year-olds should get life-changing surgeries. Whoa! That's not what your original tweet said. Your original tweet said a transgender 4-year-old, as in a trans person existing at the age of 4. That's what trans means. Now, Blaire might jump up here and try to be like, well, according to my own special snowflake definition, actually transgender means somebody who is actually transitioned. That doesn't make sense. And also, even if she went that route, then we could all just laugh at her for desperately trying to change the definition of a word to make her argument make sense. You never said a kid shouldn't transition. You said a transgender 4-year-old. And since you were 5 and had gender dysphoria, you were a transgender 5-year-old. Nobody was making those lifestyle, quote unquote, choices for you, Blaire. So you are contradicting yourself, you're hypocritical, and you're a fucking liar.
True story. True story.
True story.
The last time I saw or heard of Hunter Avalon, who used to be like a right-wing YouTuber and then switched up, the last time I saw or heard of him was at a hotel at a convention that we both had done. It was a bunch of YouTubers hanging out in a hotel room. He started calling an ex-YouTuber named Theron Meyer a man to her face, would not say sorry, made Theron cry, and then he started crying because everyone took Theron's side, who was crying.
So true.
Over him being a dick.
Oh my God, I was sobbing. Literally, I was on my knees crying my fucking eyes out. This is so true, girl. Oh my God.
So I say that to say, like, these people are walking, talking projections. Behind every, like, social justice warrior, lived out, woke, like, is a history of probably the exact behavior that they are trying to come for someone else for doing. People can say I'm transphobic.
So, okay. When I first heard that Blaire White had mentioned me, I was kind of prepping up for there to be an argument levied against me. Usually if I call somebody out, it's here's a clip of them saying something that is therefore proven incorrect or factually incorrect, or you seem to be lying or were dishonest. That's my form of argumentation. And I think that sometimes I expect that standard to be given back to me. And I forget that since Blaire White is a brain dead piece of shit, that she would rather just go the I'm gonna spill the tea route rather than actually like, here's something Hunter said that's incorrect and it's obvious that he doesn't know what he's talking about because XYZ. It's more just like, let me spill the tea, girl. Oh, the tea time. It's really, really cringy, but you know, she's kind of got to keep up with that white girl sort of bimbo aesthetic. I get it. So let me go ahead and address this. First and foremost, the story that she's talking about so far as me misgendering Theron Myers. Now, what happened is Theron Myers is or was a transgender YouTuber. I've actually not heard of her now or seen her in ages. I think she left the internet, but whatever. She's a transgender YouTuber. We had beefed previously on Twitter when I was still conservative, and I, of course, had been transphobic and had been, honestly, yes, a dick towards her. That is absolutely true. Now, a couple things. One, this was 5 or 6 years ago now, okay? Because the conference she's talking about where we met up was in 2018. And me and Theron beefed. I don't know if it was in 2018 or maybe even earlier. All I know is this was 5 or 6 years ago now. So first and foremost, you're telling me that 5 years ago when Hunter was a conservative and a rabid transphobe, Hunter was transphobic? Oh my God. Let me just try to get this straight in my fucking mind. You mean to tell me when Hunter was a transphobe, Hunter was being transphobic? Yeah, I was transphobic, as if every fucking human being who follows me is not already aware of that. Congratulations, Blaire, you've proven nothing. So, yes, me and Theron had beefed a little bit. Theron wanted me to apologize to her. I don't actually remember what I said on Twitter. I probably did misgender. I may have used slurs, all sorts of the fucking bigoted, degrading kind of bullshit that I obviously would be heavily opposed to now. But either way, that is what happened. I had called her names or something on Twitter. We met at this conference, and Theron wanted me to apologize. Would I apologize nowadays? Yes, of course. I shouldn't have said that. That was wrong. However, at the time, I was genuine, and I still am a genuine person, so I was sincere in the beliefs that I held. That's what is, I guess, compared to all these fucking fake-ass hoes, what makes me unique is that I'm genuine. I say things that I believe in. When I was conservative preaching transphobia, as sad as it is, those were my genuine beliefs at the time. When I'm approached and told that I need to apologize for being transphobic, which at the time I would have been of the opinion that I'm just defending biology or reality and all that conservative crap, I'm not going to just apologize. No, this is still how I am. I don't just fucking apologize because everybody wants me to apologize. Like, sorry? That's not how this works. I would apologize now because I know that I'm wrong. But at the time, I didn't think that I was wrong. And I don't just fucking apologize. And so what she's talking about then is, yes, Theron approached me and she wanted me to apologize. I didn't apologize. I said no. And then we went back to the hotel where it was me, it was Blaire, it was her boyfriend Joey. I know that Hey It's Josephine was there and some other YouTubers were there as well. We went back up into their hotel. We were all just kind of hanging out talking. And then everybody in the group, again, wanted me to apologize. Everybody wanted me to apologize there. They were saying it was being disrespectful, I was wrong, I was rude. All true, honestly. However, I don't just bend to peer pressure. I'm not just gonna apologize because everybody wants me to. And this actually speaks volumes to, one, the fact that I'm a genuine fucking person, because I don't just cave to what the general social environment wants from me. I stick to what I believe at the time is right, no matter what. And second of all, this speaks against any fucking claim that I'm a grifter, because if I wouldn't bend to social pressure face to face with people in a small social circle, then odds are I'm not going to suddenly become pro-trans because I've bent to some social pressure from a bunch of fucking internet dickheads. Thank you for proving that I actually have a spine and I'm not a pandering little bitch like you are. Thank you. Wow. I'm so owned right now. And then she goes on to say that I was crying because I was not crying at all. I guess she's being hyperbolic. Maybe I was frustrated that people were all trying to pressure me to apologize when I was with conservatives who I thought shared my view of trans issues at the time, that were wait, I'm literally just refusing to deny biology and reality. What do you mean? Why do you guys want me to apologize? This is ridiculous. So apparently that's me crying or something. I don't really know. But yeah, all this demonstrates is that at one time I was transphobic when I was still conservative and transphobic, which every single human being knew, and that I was not willing to just bend to social pressure and just insincerely apologize because everybody around me, all of these other popular acquaintances, wanted me to apologize. And the last thing I'll say is, as far as what I said to Theron Myers, whether it was misgendering or using slurs or anything, I am sorry. I do sincerely apologize because now I recognize that it's wrong, because I have reasons for why I believe the things I believe. I am a genuine person. Now I believe and I know based on empiricism that trans people are valid. So what I said then was wrong, and I do apologize for that. So again, really, really cringy that she didn't even levy an argument against me. It was just spilling the tea, girl. Ooh. And then last but not least, her tweet, a transgender 4-year-old is like a vegan cat. Why should we even listen to anything you say, Blaire? You have a history of lying and misrepresenting parents who have transgender kids. You think that pretty much any time a kid is transitioning, it must be the evil parent trying to push them into transition. Accusations, it doesn't even stop there. During her early days on YouTube, Blaire published a video titled, "Children Transitioning is Child Abuse." Her video was a response to the front cover of National Geographic's, featuring a young trans kid on the front of their cover. In this video, Blaire heavily implies that the child is only trans because the mom is a trans activist.
Her bio reads that she is a trans activist. So right off the bat, what are the odds that a transgender activist gives birth to a kid who ends up being transgender? Shocking coincidence, right?
But remember, Blaire doesn't research, she just lies. Later in this video, she included a screenshot of a tweet from the mom. In that tweet was a video where the mother explained that she only became a trans activist after her child became transgender.
Thank God for Google, because I immediately jumped on the computer and typed in a search. What came back was a very short list of results, but they all pointed to one thing. My child might be transgender. I had never even heard the word transgender before and really didn't know what to think.
So how could a woman be pushing her child to be trans when she didn't even know what transgenderism was? This is easy to find out, but Blaire has an agenda to push. She's not interested in seeking truth.
As a country and as a culture, we should all have an invested interest in the truth, justice, facts, and evidence.
Shout out to Vadim. I would highly recommend checking out his entire video. That's actually where I got that clip from. Does Blaire White have flaming turds for brains? Just that alone is an example, though, of where Blaire just misrepresents stories. She misrepresents things. Even your original tweet, a transgender 4-year-old, oh, blah, 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 blah. Like, clearly you don't know what the fuck you're talking about because you've misrepresented the issues of kids being trans in the past. So no, a transgender 4-year-old is not like a vegan cat. A transgender 4-year-old just refers to somebody who is transgender at the age of 4. That's it. Doesn't include transition surgery.
People can say I'm transphobic all day, every day. I've never looked at a trans woman in the face and be like, you're a man, you're a he. Like, that was so crazy. And like,
I certainly did not do that. I am willing to bet that I did not say, you're a man, you're a he. I'm pretty sure Theron wanted me to apologize for stuff I'd said on Twitter like the year before.
Regardless of how you feel about trans issues, like, it's really nuts to just be that rude for no reason to a nice person. So
wait, what are you talking about, Blaire? All right, let me go back to my video then.
What are you doing? What's her name? What are you doing, Samantha? Okay.
This is someone who is not trans. This is someone who's claiming to be trans by what? Putting on lipstick and then going in the media talking about trans issues as if they know.
Hunter's so rude. I can't even imagine that. She's such a fucking hypocrite, dude. And the fact that she would try and bring up dirt on me like a cancel culture stupid valley girl when I've obviously changed and gone through so much introspection and have addressed my transphobic opinions from the past, and she tries to drag that up to cancel me or whatever. It's hysterical. It is the most desperate thing I have seen. It's so fucking funny. So she's like, yeah, they're just desperate. Like, Hunter is so fucking transphobic. Even though I've actually apologized for my previous transphobia and then changed my behavior, unlike you, Blaire.
glad Hunter's now taken up the mantle for trans people and coming for me, but anyways, another thing is the—
Yeah, I'm actually very glad about that. I'm glad that I found that I've taken up the mantle for trans people. What is this supposed to mean? I can't support trans people because I used to be transphobic 6 years ago. 6 years ago, I was transphobic. I should continue being transphobic then. What? She's acting like a gatekeeping lefty right now. She called me like a libbed out woketard or whatever. She's being the libbed out woketard right here. Because you have two options, Blaire. Here's somebody who's transphobic at one point, okay? They have two ways they can go. Be consistent and continue being transphobic, which I would assume is probably what you wouldn't want. Or B, realize they were wrong and then change and then start advocating in favor of trans people. You acting like I cannot advocate for trans people because in my past I was transphobic is the equivalent of you saying that I should just remain transphobic. You're so interested in gatekeeping like a dumbass that you would rather there be more transphobia in this world simply so that you can keep up this weird purity politics thing. Kind of misrepresenting what she's saying? No, I'm not. Not at all. This is what people say. They say, Hunter, you're misrepresenting what they're saying. No, I'm just following their fucking argument to the logical conclusion. That's all I'm doing. But yeah, that's pretty much just the call out from Blaire White. Like I said, nothing really very interesting. Most of it's just a weird, desperate grasp. And it's just sad. I don't know what to say. Like, yeah, I used to be transphobic. I'm not anymore. What I said then was wrong. I didn't think it was wrong, so I didn't apologize because a bunch of dumb hoes were telling me to apologize. Okay. So you've managed to reiterate that I used to be transphobic, which everybody knew. You've managed to gatekeep and say that you actually would really more or less prefer I remain transphobic just so that you can keep up this dumb fuck attempt at being some gatekeeping purity testing type. And then you've also demonstrated that I'm not a spineless little cuck and I won't just bend to pressure and just apologize because everybody wants me to. Congratulations, Blaire. In your attempt to own me, you've demonstrated that I'm not spineless, I'm not a grifter, and you've reiterated something that everybody already knew while simultaneously advocating for there to be more transphobia in the world. Wow. Whew.